The iPhone 17 officially began pre-sales in China on September 12th, overwhelming Apple's website with traffic. All models sold out immediately on launch day. Online platforms experienced long queues, while offline stores saw crowds scrambling to make purchases. Despite the Chinese government's push to promote domestic smartphones and discourage Apple use, a significant number of Chinese consumers are not swayed by the anti-American propaganda. Meanwhile, Huawei, long known for its high-end models and market dominance, is facing a sharp decline in sales. In a desperate move, the company announced price cuts to several flagship phones, including the Mate X6, Pura 80 series, and Mate 70 series, with discounts reaching up to 2,000 yuan. The Huawei Mate 20 series has suddenly dropped in price, with discounts as high as 3,000 yuan and as low as 1,000 yuan. The news has left both those who haven't purchased yet and those who already bought the phone in shock. The shift from a supply shortage to a price reduction of 1,800 yuan is striking. The standard Mate 70 Pro is now priced at 4,700 yuan, down from a markup of over 1,000 yuan, while the Mate 70 Pro Plus has dropped to 6,600 yuan. Even the previously available Mate 70 has seen its price fall below 4,000 yuan. Huawei's recent price adjustments are truly shocking. While I knew a price cut was coming, I didn't expect the reductions to be this significant. To put it simply, this feels like a targeted strike. The Mate X6, both the classic and regular versions, have been reduced by 1,000 yuan. The Pura 80 Pro and Pura 80 Pro Plus have also seen a 1,000 yuan discount, while the Pura 80 Pro Ultra dropped by 1,500 yuan. Even the newly released tablets have been slashed in price, with the MatePad Pro 13.2-inch of the 2025 model dropping by 500 to 700 yuan, and the 12.2-inch MatePad Pro 24 model seeing a price reduction of 300 to 500 yuan. To be honest, this price drop is quite aggressive. Previous reductions were usually around 300 to 700 yuan, but this time, 1,000 yuan seems to be the baseline. Some people have pointed out that the price cuts are due to poor sales and a lack of demand. Some people even claim that this move has deeply disappointed longtime Huawei fans, calling it a backstab to its own users. In contrast to the iPhone 17, which sold out on the first day of pre-sales and was praised by many, Huawei has found itself in the awkward position of having its products largely ignored. To boost sales, the company has opted for significant price cuts. This unexpected move has left Huawei users as well as distributors stunned, with many saying they've never encountered such drastic price reductions before. Huawei, oh Huawei, your price drops are more thrilling than a roller coaster ride. You're competing to see which brand can lower their prices the fastest, rather than focusing on improving performance or upgrading your product names. How am I, an 8th level distributor, supposed to survive? How much do I have to lose with all this unsold stock?
Huawei, are you afraid of Apple? As soon as Apple drops, Huawei suddenly comes out with a thank you price cut. To be blunt, it's just a price drop.
As soon as Apple released its new devices, Huawei immediately started slashing prices again. This time, it's clear they're ready for a showdown. Huawei wants to tell everyone, not only do I have better technology, but my prices are also thousands of yuan lower than yours. But let's not forget, in the end, consumers will always choose the brand that delivers the best product. Guys, have you ever bought a phone and lost 1,000 yuan in just one day? I just received official notification that the entire Pura 80 Pro series has been officially reduced by 1,000 yuan.
15年前，当时我买 iPhone 4的时候，也花了5000块钱。
Is it the domestic phones forcing Apple to lower its prices? Or is it Apple pushing domestic phones to drop their prices? 15 years ago, when I bought the iPhone 4, it cost 5,000 yuan. Now the iPhone 17 still costs around 5,000 yuan. Meanwhile, back in 2010, Huawei phones were priced under 1,000 yuan and were only available with contracts, while Oppo and Xiaomi phones were also around 1,000 yuan. The vlogger mentioned that in the following years, domestic phones gradually increased in price, with many reaching 5,000 to 6,000 yuan, and some even surpassing 10,000 yuan. In contrast, this year's iPhone still offers full features without increasing in price. Meanwhile, domestic phones have been continuously dropping their prices. Huawei was the first to cut prices by 2,000 yuan. With the upcoming release of the Xiaomi 17 series, It's expected that they will follow suit with price cuts, at the very least offering more features without raising prices. On the first day of sales, the iPhone 17 was immediately caught in a frenzy in mainland China. Every time Apple releases a new model, it sells out quickly. Meanwhile, the national brands that the Chinese government heavily supports, like Xiaomi and Huawei, are now in a desperate struggle. Huawei's flagship phones quickly followed suit with large-scale price cuts, with discounts reaching as high as 2,000 yuan. The iPhone 17 presale broke historic records, with the total sales volume in just 1 minute surpassing the entire sales volume of the previous year. The search term, "How to buy the iPhone 17," quickly rose to the top of the trending topics. The most popular model, the Standard Edition, saw its sales soar to 3.43 million units, with a 256GB variant becoming the most sought after. At the start of the presale, not only did Apple's official website experience delays, but major e-commerce platforms in mainland China also faced slow load times. The overwhelming sales forced Apple to update and delay the shipping times for the iPhone 17 Pro series. On the other hand, Huawei, which is heavily protected by the Chinese government and often claims to lead the industry in technology, faces serious issues with product quality. An increasing number of Huawei users have taken to the internet to expose problems with their devices, including explosions and unexplained leakage. But Huawei has consistently shifted blame and passively responded to consumer complaints, leading to growing resentment among Chinese consumers and a rising boycott of Huawei products.
1万多块钱买的华为 X6
I spent over 10,000 yuan on the Huawei X6, and after just 5 or 6 days of use, it started leaking on its own like this. I didn't cause any damage to it, yet it leaked by itself and ended up like this.
你们都说要支持国产，支持华为。
Y'all say we should support domestic products and Huawei. Well, I supported it too. I spent a fortune and bought the Huawei Mate X5 foldable phone, but just after under half a year of use, it started leaking. Look at this. To fix it at the service center, I have to pay 3,700 yuan.
家人们，这手机怎么才用了1周就这样了呀？
Guys, how did this phone get like this after just 1 week? This is my newly purchased Mate 70 Pro. Looks like the online critics were right. This phone really isn't that great. Just look, I swipe and the screen turns green. It's definitely not good.
我买的华为 Mate X
I bought the Huawei Mate X5 for over 10,000 yuan, and now it's practically worthless. The phone won't even turn on, and there's a severe leakage. Now, it can only open to this extent. This is the best I could use it now. A Huawei user who purchased a foldable phone recently encountered issues less than 2 months after use. He took the phone to an official Huawei service center where the faulty screen hinge was replaced. Concerned that the screen might experience further problems, he paid an additional 500 yuan for a 1-year warranty. Following the service center's instructions, he applied a screen protector, only to discover that the phone could no longer fully open and that there was leakage at the fold later that night. He returned the phone to the service center, but this time he was told that the damage was considered man-made and therefore not covered by the warranty. After failing to resolve the issue with Huawei, the user turned to the media for help. When reporters asked the service center about the criteria for determining man-made damage, they were told that a specific person handles media inquiries and an interview would not be possible. Huawei, a brand heavily promoted by the Chinese government as a patriotic symbol, represents China's technological forefront in its advertisements. In product sales, it is the consumers who bear the risk of high failure rates due to the Harmony OS system. In after-sales service, Huawei has been accused of being arrogant and domineering, using its power to suppress media exposure and displaying behavior reminiscent of the CCP's mafia-like tactics.
我花1万多块钱买个手机，用3
I spent over 10,000 yuan on a new phone, and after just 3 months, the screen exploded. At first, I asked for a replacement phone, but they said it was impossible. They asked me to pay 4,000 yuan for repairs. Everyone says to support domestic products, but even buying a phone for 1,000 or 2,000 yuan won't end up being like this. The man in the video explained that Huawei's after-sales service informed him that, after inspection, the 4 corners of the phone's central unit showed signs of impact damage. Additionally, the phone failed a drop test, indicating it had already been dropped, so it was not eligible for free repair. He was told he would need to pay 3,900 yuan to replace the screen. Since the staff could not provide specific test data, the 2 parties disagreed. Ultimately, after mediation by the reporter, They reached an agreement, and the man was required to pay 1,000 yuan for the screen replacement.
这华为又开始搞强买强卖那一套了。
Huawei is back at it with its aggressive sales tactics. When I bought the Huawei Pura 80, I had to sign an informed consent form. The form clearly stated that the Harmony OS 5 series software has flaws, and by agreeing to purchase, I could not hold them accountable. To put it simply, once you sign this agreement, if there are any issues with the system later on, you won't be able to return the product. Isn't this a bit of forced selling?
出于对华为的信任，我才买了 Mate 70 Pro 和 Pro 加。
I bought a Huawei phone because I trusted the brand. But look, the screen was already scratched as soon as I got home. It's completely unusable. Just look at this. This is the second phone with the same issue. I really think this is a bug. I'm telling you, don't buy it.
3折叠我就没用过这么烫的手机啊！
This foldable phone is unbearably hot. I never used a phone this hot before. I've had it for half a year, and since April, I've had to keep it near the air conditioning vent every day to cool it down. I don't even play games on it. At most, I just use it for chatting and TikTok. Just now, while I was using TikTok, a warning popped up saying the temperature was too high, and you can only make an emergency call. I don't know if your foldables get this hot, but my experience with this one has been awful. In the face of constant quality issues with Huawei phones, Huawei's after-sales service has not only failed to provide good service to improve its reputation, but has instead adopted an arrogant attitude, suppressing those who were once loyal Huawei users. Recently, a user from Heilongjiang complained that Huawei's after-sales service called the police on him and had him arrested. The man recorded the incident on video and posted it online, but his account was quickly deleted and he was banned. The Harbin foldable phone has issues, and the guy has already been dealt with. His account was shut down immediately. When it comes to handling consumers, Huawei phones are truly in a league of their own. With this arrogant attitude, the first thing you do when there's a problem is silence the consumer, even suing them. This behavior is disgusting, and the public is too easy to bully. For those who support Huawei phones, one day, the boomerang of karma will surely hit you.
大家好啊，我是哈尔滨一个卖手机的。
Hello everyone, I'm a phone seller from Harbin, and I've been using a Huawei XT, a foldable phone. I rarely unfold it, but last night when I did, I noticed a raised area in the middle of the screen, and the glue underneath had come undone. So today, I went to Huawei's after-sales service. I waited for about 10 minutes, and a male engineer told me that the damage was intentional and that I'd have to pay over 3,000 yuan to replace the screen. When I heard that, I thought it was unreasonable. How could it be my fault? It's obviously a quality issue, and the screen is clearly defective. I immediately started recording a video. The moment I took out my phone, everyone in the room ignored me. There was a female manager, Ms. Yu, and when I spoke to her, she didn't know anything. She just had this attitude of completely giving up. She kept repeating that she couldn't resolve the issue. They refused to offer a warranty, saying this is not in line with China's 3-guarantee law. While I was still discussing it with her, she had already called the police to have me arrested. This is how Huawei treats its consumers. I'm using your phone.
16加 1T 的，余承东就是这么教你们的。
This is how Richard Yu from Huawei taught you, right? Calling the police on consumers? Honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. She told the police that she had a heart condition and that I made her angry. But who's really making who angry here? You're using the 3-guarantee law to brush me off, so how exactly did I upset you? When the police arrived, they advised me to resolve the issue in another way. They said, if she calls the police, we have to come. I asked, how did you get my personal information? How did you find out? I told them, I'm not afraid of you. I'm going to take this to the end with my real name. I'll never use your brand again in my life. Although the police didn't arrest him, they advised him to leave and resolve the issue through other means. Afterward, he recorded a video explaining the incident and angrily criticized Huawei's after-sales service. He mentioned that he spent tens of thousands of yuan on a phone, only to find the 1-year warranty was essentially useless. He vowed that, regardless of the outcome of his rights protection efforts, he would smash the phone outside a Huawei service center and never buy Huawei products again. People flooded the comments section. This is the intelligence tax you pay when buying Huawei. Huawei's usual operation, nothing surprising. With so many issues with Huawei products, who still dares to buy them?
天塌了，兄弟们！擦地！
The sky is falling, guys. The Huawei XTS screen is leaking. I bought it yesterday, and today it's already leaking. Can a case like this really cause a leak? I think I might be the first in the country with this issue. It's so painful. My white XCS512 leaked just one day after purchase. The issue with the leaking screen on the foldable Huawei XTS remains unresolved for now. and the situation is unclear as a vlogger has not yet provided an update. In response to Huawei's poor after-sales service, some people have suggested a workaround. Find a foreigner, give them your purchase receipt, and have them help you with the repair. It's likely to get fixed that way. Huawei presents itself as a premium domestic brand and a leader in Chinese technology, but it is facing a lot of criticism for exploiting customers while promoting patriotism. Despite claims of being ahead of the game, the company's after-sales service has been widely criticized. High prices, subpar quality, and poor service have led to significant consumer dissatisfaction, with the reports of aggressive tactics such as involving the police to silence complaints. Price reductions have created a psychological gap for new buyers and harmed channel distributors. The resale value of Huawei phones have dropped, and depreciation rates are accelerating, leaving both consumers and agents with phones losing value rapidly. Huawei's sales strategy has mostly relied on premium pricing, offering high-end prices for products with low-end chips, which, coupled with brainwashing patriotic slogans, has indeed attracted many users. When the foldable Huawei X series was first launched, it was touted as surpassing Apple, a symbol of cutting-edge technology. The second generation of the foldable phone mainly introduced new colors and camera features, but it failed to attract enough new users. Additionally, the model's frequent malfunctions are making the collapse of Huawei phones inevitable. The release and explosive sales of the iPhone 17 in the fall further accelerated Huawei's downfall, knocking this once celebrated brand off its pedestal. On August 29th, Huawei released its half-year financial report, revealing that while revenue increased, profits did not, with net profits plummeting by 32%. The company's total debt exceeded 700 billion yuan. Huawei's cloud business also faced significant challenges. Moreover, Huawei is dealing with increasing international sanctions and numerous overseas allegations, further intensifying the challenges to its global operations. According to industry sources cited by Chinese media, Huawei Cloud has been in a state of loss since 2024, and turning a profit has become its top strategic goal for this year. In addition to facing the severe challenge of losses, Huawei Cloud is also grappling with technical problems. In July, the research team Honest AGI publicly accused Huawei's Pangu model of plagiarizing Alibaba's QWen model. Although Huawei strongly denied allegations of plagiarism, it did admit that some basic component code reference industry open source practices, a statement that sparked widespread discussion in the industry. On the international front, Huawei is facing numerous serious allegations in overseas markets. This includes accusations of sharing intelligence with the government, participating in cyber attacks, violating US sanctions on Iran, and having overly close ties with the Chinese government and military. India, Vietnam, Japan, the Five Eyes countries, and 10 EU nations have implemented various degrees of bans or restrictions on Huawei products, severely impacting its global business expansion. Struggling both internally and externally, Huawei is heading towards an end.